What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video, and as you saw in the title, I like to talk about today how I think Kyle Petty is overrated. You always hear drivers, people say, Trevor Bayne was overrated, Danica Patrick was overrated, obviously. You always think like all these other drivers that are always, people know they are overrated, but they don't. The one that they don't talk about that I believe is very overrated is Kyle Petty. Now his stats compared to other drivers that are considered overrated are better. 9 wins, and had a very long career. He had a very long career going back to the 80s, and who was started around, I think, the 80s. He went all the way to 2008. And then he had 9 wins. He was a title contender at one point. Title contender, people call him that. He was part of the big 1992 championship battle, barely, but he's considered part of it. So they got that, and then but I think he's very, very overrated. Here's why. He was really only good. He got, I think, 8 or 7 of his wins came with the 42 car in the Mellow Yellow ride. Now, that is one of, if not, that is probably the second best primary paint scheme to ever come to be behind the 40 car, the Coors Light 40, the Silver Bullet car. That is number 1. Number 2, probably the Mellow Yellow car. I need to get that. I need to get the Mellow Yellow car ASAP. And I need to get the Silver Bullet as well. But that was 7 or 8 of his wins. I know he got his first win because of the, Darrell Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt shit in the bed at Richmond. That was his first win. You see that all the time. It's a pretty exciting way to get your first win. It's pretty cool. But you know what? After the 42, it was 1993, I think was his last win. He raced 15 years. 15 years! He raced before he actually called it quits. Seriously? Really? Really? And you still call him a great driver? And so, he had his moments. He wasn't always shit. Complete shit, every race. But about 98% of them, he was pretty shit. He leaves the 42 car, and then he goes to just some smaller rides. Races the Hot Wheels car at one point, late 90s. Then he goes over to race for his dad in the Petty Enterprises 45, and that's where he really became shit. And then, he retired. He finally decided to hang it up. And really, I think the only reason Kyle Petty decided to hang it up when he did was because of the fact that he got a big television broadcasting contract with TNT, and he moved over to doing that starting in 2007. So he started doing part-time in 07. I think he did a little bit in 08, but I think in 08 he called it quits simply because of the television contracts and everything. It was just too much for him to uphold because he was going with speed. He was going to do pre-race stuff. He was going to be bigger than just going to TNT because NASCAR see he's a good personality. Why he's a good personality, he's got 2 reasons. One of them is a good reason, is that he is not afraid to speak his mind. And I like that about Kyle Petty. I don't hate Kyle Petty, okay? I'll put that out there right now. I don't hate Kyle Petty. I actually really like Kyle Petty because he's not afraid to speak his mind. He was the first guy, when Danica Patrick came to NASCAR, he was the one who pointed out that she is there only for marketing reasons and she's going to flop, most likely. What happened? She flopped. Nobody listened to him at the time. And then she flopped. And now everybody looks on him as a great, hail saint sort of thing. And he's not afraid to talk about, Jeff Gordon not getting docked. Jeff Gordon not getting a harsher penalty for dumping Clint Boyer at Phoenix in 2012. He said that's only because of his name, Jeff Gordon. It's kind of ironic. We'll get to that in a minute. But he talked about that. And then he's always out there, he's talking about other drivers, drivers trying to shit on Kyle Petty, and he gets back at them and stuff like that. And I like that about Kyle Petty. He's not somebody that's going to be too outlandish, right in your face, but he's always going to have a rebuttal point. He's very knowledgeable about the sport. He's very knowledgeable about driving a race car. Just not very good at it, which is usually not the case. He was so overrated. His rides were not that great. after the 42. I will admit he didn't really have that. The 42, he was all right. The 42, but he wasn't great otherwise. And the ride, and he kind of had tested that a little bit. But he was always in the back of the pack. He was always crashing. He was always several laps down or out of the race. He was barely even trying. He was barely even qualifying for races eventually. And he's like so high praise that like, really? Guy can't even qualify for a race and you're going to consider him that? Like, at least you talk about, like, say, Sterling Marlin's kind of in the same category. I don't think he's overrated. I do think, I don't know, I could talk about Sterling Marlin. He's not as highly praised as Kyle Petty, so not really a reason to do that, but he had kind of the same thing. Both of the Bonnie brothers had the same sort of thing. I don't think they were treated as highly as Kyle Petty when they were in their downfalls, but I do think they kind of fell into the same thing as Kyle Petty and Sterling Marlin. Their careers lasted way too long. They were going off of their champions provisionals, and they were doing all the Sterling Marlin obviously not, because he never won a championship, and neither Kyle Petty, I guess either. Kyle Petty was going because of his name. That's the other reason why he's so well liked and so highly praised in the NASCAR world, because of his name, Petty, son of Richard Petty. Now, to be frank, he did win 9 races. To be frank, I don't think he shit on the Petty name like Austin Dillon shit on the Earnhardt 3. But another overrated driver, by the way, Austin Dillon. But honestly, that's why he did so good, and that's why he got so much television praise, and so I think he's overrated. So I do have to get the mellow yellow car though. I want the Kyle Larson throwback version, but that never actually got made, which pisses me off. But what are your thoughts on Kyle Petty? Who else do you think is overrated? Should I do more of these? I could do one on Trevor Bayne, but I think everybody's kind of realized that at this point. Austin Dillon, that's a big one. Might do that on Austin Dillon. I'm not a fan of Austin Dillon. Might do one on that. Danica Patrick, she's already been ran into the ground. I can't really think of any others that, at the moment, that I think could be talked about. But what are your thoughts on Kyle Petty? Should I do any more? Let you know in the comment section down below. Catch you guys in more NASCAR related content, much more amazing stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.